We were at the premiere for X-Men 97 last week in LA. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, you guys got really close to like the Spider-Verse crowd as far as fans dressed up as the character. Everybody is behind the show. How does that kind of fan support feel for you guys as the creative team?
Uh, Dude, honestly, look, if I could be candid, we have
Sure.
some of the best in the game right now. This team is phenomenal from top down. Everybody brings their A game. Everybody has a love for the IP. Everybody loves X-Men. Everybody loves this show, right?
Hmm.
It's this X, right? Bringing that back.
Right.
So on my end, getting to be, what, working with everybody, right? Working with everybody, make sure I'm not surprised. To be quite frank, I'm not surprised that the fans love this stuff because it's been ingrained from day one. From the initial vision that Bo DeMeo and the writers room and Marvel and Brad Winderbaum and Dana Vasquez all had, right,
Hmm.
to bring in
Absolutely.
from Bo's initial Bible to his initial scripts to us coming in and just elevating that and visually bringing those to the table and just all coming together. We're excited, man. It was cool. It was good to. I appreciated that the team got to experience the love live,
Nice.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like
Yeah.
it's one thing to read the buzz online, and to see the snippets here and there, but it's another thing to be in that room and to feel that.
Hmm.
And yeah, just cloud nine, man. Uh,
I completely understand.
You know what I mean? Like it's a relief. The shoulders are down a little bit. The size are real, but also there's plenty of work to still be done. We still got polishing, finishing to do on season one. We're hard at work on season two. So yeah. There's still plenty to be done.
Right, absolutely. And you talked about Bo's show Bible, and I was wondering too, because you got such good material to work with not only the X-Men the animated series, but the comics as well.
Yes.
For our listeners, for our viewers, they love the comic stuff. What runs do you think they should go out and look at on Marvel Unlimited before they sit down with their big bowl of cereal and catch X-Men 97? Like Claremont stuff or
That's a tricky question because I that's a tough one because I wanna blurt that stuff out, but I also don't know if that's spoilery, right? I want to give some respect to the stories
right
because
on?
that because here's what it is, right? We're all fans,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
all we quote unquote know what happens, right, in the books, and look, we are a spiritual successor. We are a revival. We are not a reboot. So the OG show, what they pulled from were the books that was ingrained in their DNA. We
Absolutely.
so too we got to do as well, right?
Right.
We part of them, they are us, we are them. We got to have that ingrained in our DNA, right?
Right.
So to say, one, hopefully that's a good indication that we will be bringing some books in, but two, to bring it back. I love that, myself included, audiences and fans, we quote unquote know what happens right in the books, but we
Right.
just don't how.
Right.
That's
Right
where the
on.
sauce, that's where the sauce comes in,
Oh
so
yeah.
like, not only will you be getting your books, but yeah, they got to be adapted for animated medium too. So
There are some curveballs, shall we say, with the stories you know and love. You can come on back after the show release. We can talk about the individual
hey man,
comics.
have
That's
me
all
back
good.
anytime. Yeah, it'll be a relief to talk about this stuff.
Right, exactly. I'm like, you want to say something, but it's like, okay, we'll just wait. Can I talk about since this is a successor? Magneto looks a little bit different. He's got a little bit of a Riz going on here in it.
Yeah, funny. I'm glad you brought that up because among the team, Magneto has many names. One of them is Dad Nito.
Oh,
I mean, come on,
come on.
come on. That X-Men 200 costume.
Yeah.
Come on,
Oh,
man.
so good.
Magneto, hot and fresh in HD. Thank you. Have another. No, it was cool, man. Not only and again, that was in the vision from day one, but to get to visually bring that to life and to work with the team, and again, shout out to Amelia Vidal and her, who was our lead, character designer. Her and her team brought all these characters to life, bringing them in this new age.
Hmm.
So, and that Dad Nito was no different. We have other names for him too, but those might be spoilers, so we'll release those when the episodes come out.
Oh my God, this return trip is going to be something.
Yeah.
I see behind you, you've got a ton of figures of the team, and they've all got kind of different like eras slash different iterations of the character. I see a Phoenix back there. I see Storm with the white. I see classic Cyclops. I think that's Gambit over there. Like great stuff. Beast and Bishop. But there was some conversation online about some of the redesigns for the characters. I love the 90s flourishes, but some people were like, what's going on? Like, why doesn't Rogue look exactly like I remember it? How did you guys balance that tone with respecting the original characters and trying to do your own spins on them?
Right. So, with that, again, a lot of the decision making on where that sandbox was going to be,
Hmm.
how much are we going into the 90s of it all, leaning into also how much we've learned from the 90s of it all. It's been 30 years.
Right.
So, certain things, certain designs you find out actually killed animation, even though we know and love it, a lot of animators went, were sick, or a lot of episodes fell behind in deadlines because of certain designs or certain colors or what have you, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the decision to stay within a certain sandbox was made well before I got on board.
Right.
Uh, but I was able to be brought in to kind of help guide with the rest of the team, in tandem with the scripts, with the overall vision. But at the end of the day, too, like I said before, to bring back 30 years. So we've just learned so much. There's, you know, everything has a choice and everything has a reason.
Hmm.
Just for example, the crazy stringy hair of the 90s, which we know and love, doesn't mean we still can't keep big hair, but those individual strands, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
It's got to
I mean,
murder.
and track over and over, 24 images for 1 second of life we're talking about. So, there's certain design parameters that you want to pull back or embellish on for sake of good profit of return, right? For an overall just completed look, as opposed to it looks good here, could be better here, looks good. That's all planned. It's trying to get as cohesive of a visual as possible.
When we talked to the What If team, AC Bradley and her squad were like, we had some ideas, and then we took them to Marvel, and they were like, we're going to do this in a movie, so we can't do this right here. Is there anything you guys try to do where you guys were like, oh, this would be awesome to do, and then Kevin comes down and is like, nah, you can't. Like we're doing that over here with the live action stuff. We can't touch it. Did that happen? You don't have to tell me what it was. Did it happen?
Well, look, what I can say is, thank goodness that we are different departments, right? That's the best part. Look, man, myself and the rest of the team, we got plenty to focus on and work on for our show here, and so
Right.
does the live department. But at the end of the day, what I will say is, why limit yourself to one candy? Appreciate the characters coming out in live action. Appreciate our characters coming out in animation. Take it all. Take it all. Take it
Yeah,
all.
take it all. Take it all.
It's all one
Absolutely.
candy. Bring it all in. So
Like
yeah,
I was say,
and yeah,
it's just
that's all I can say about it. Yeah.
okay. All right. That's fine. And lastly, the original series managed to work in some cameos because there are some other heroes that aired alongside the X-Men back in the 90s. You seen like what would be a spider-like person, a mutant hunter, if you will. Can we expect some of those sort of cameos for you guys, especially now that there's much more interconnectivity with everything?
Yeah. So my favorite thing to say about those cameos, and the best little tidbit of history that Larry gave me, was every cameo in that show was illegal because they didn't have rights to all of the characters at the time. So they had
Right.
people weren't familiar with the characters at the time. So if you
Hmm.
put, instead of Doctor Strange, as Larry did, Professor with
That's
book, right? That's thanks to Larry, we have a team of people that look out for that stuff nowadays. But here's what I'll say. The best part is we're in the MCU. The X Men show, the OG show, was the MCU before the MCU became the MCU, right?
right.
And certain things that, again, being a spiritual successor, a revival, that the show had ingrained in its DNA, we got to have that ingrained in our DNA too. Cameos were a big thing. Expansion of the MCU overall, of the characters, the side stories, the many, many, many derivatives of books that came out right from the teams.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
That's all ingrained in the show, and for us to be a spiritual successor, that should be ingrained in our DNA too.
Okay. All right. Well, Jake, Wonderful to talk to you. Congratulations on the show. I cannot wait to see the rest of it. Have a good one, and we can't wait to talk to you again. Come back and talk to us about those comics.
Yeah, we'll do, man. Thanks, Aaron. Have a good one.